Good evening and welcome to the January 27th, 2025 meeting of the Board of Select Persons. Would you please join us for the flag salute? Okay, I will look for a motion to approve the January 21st meeting minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. Next, I'll look for a motion to accept the warrants.
So moved.
Discussion? Okay, all in favor? Would someone read the announcements, please?
The committee meeting for the discussion of the Limerick 250th celebration and opening of the time capsule will be held on Wednesday, the 29th at 6 p.m. at the fire station. All are welcome. The public hearing for the March ballot questions will be held on Monday, February 3rd at 6 p.m. The public is urged to attend. The Select Board will meet after the public hearing if time permits. The Planning Board will meet on Wednesday, February 5th at 7 p.m. Candidates' night will be held on Tuesday, February 11th at 7 p.m. The sand salt mixture is available for Limerick residents at the back parking lot of the Bricktown Hall. The Appeals Board has 3 vacant seats to fill. Please reach out to the Select Board admin if interested at 793-4475. As a reminder, if you're speaking at any meeting, please go to the microphone so everyone will be able to hear. As part of the hearing, a citizen policy, no personal attacks on any individual or firm, including town employees, town officials, or members of the public, will be tolerated during any meetings. Please direct concerns about individual employees or town officials to the chairman of the Board of Select Persons outside the public meeting, and please stay current with town information by visiting www.limerickme.org.
Thank you. And under department reports tonight, we have Rick Richardson speaking about the shoreline stabilization.
We're going to be doing a project on Pickle Pond, 98 Cottage Road, and if anybody has any questions or concerns, they can give me a call. We're here to notify any or all of the others on the pond that will be doing a stabilization project, and it's per DEP, the permit by rule, and we're obligated to notify people on the pond and any concerned citizens that have any questions.
No.
Thank you for the notification. Okay, well, moving on to old business. Well, no, actually, we do have one other topic. We have Casey Gray to speak regarding our unsold lots.
So this week for map 39, lot 105, Stan actually got some information that may be helpful from a licensing department in the city of Portland. And we'll be reviewing that this week to see if we can serve notices to prior owners from Consolidated Construction. And map 39, lot 106 is scheduled to close at 9 a.m. on Friday, so I have a closing statement for you to sign.
Okay.
The highlighted on the last pages, two pages.
Okay, well, I'll sign and we'll pass this down so Casey doesn't have to stay.
Can you take the deed with you? I can, or I can pick it up on Wednesday.
No, you have the deed that she needs.
Yes,
to, like,
okay.
first, if you guys can sign that at the same time.
Okay, I don't see a spot for initials. Is it just the signatures? Oh,
Just signatures.
okay. Okay, 2 pages. Plus. That's this one. Moving on, while that's going on, I'll give a report on the legal accounts. So this week, we had a bill from Bernstein Shore for the, working with the planning board for $2,210.79. We also had a bill from Jensen Baird for $4,042.50. This was from various different departments, including the code, including the select board, and various items. Now that $4,042, it also included a past due from last statement on there, so it's considerably less than that just for the month's work. So there was somewhat less than that. Okay, moving on, the Cemetery Mowing and Veterans Cemetery Committee. I don't believe we have anything new this week. The garden liability waiver, I've been waiting on a copy from someone that brought this up to me, and I haven't found it, so I guess it's time I gotta Google garden liability waivers and see what I can find. So I'll try and do that for next week. And we have some SOPs to sign. I believe we approved them, but they just need to be signed. There's actually only one spot for a signature on that, so I guess I can sign that after the meeting, and we'll go from there. And review of the Code of Ethics. I think our homework was to review that and see if there were any changes that should be made. According to my review, I see it fine as it is. So I would look for a motion so we can open discussion on approving the Code of Ethics and I guess probably re-signing it as a current board, which...
Well, we're not changing it. I don't think we need to re-sign it. We need to discuss whether we're going to send it out to everybody or not, was the plan.
Yeah, how often should we,
Should we send it to every employee and
to be signed?
to be signed?
We should also be keeping a list of those that return it signed so that we know, so that we can do a follow-up with the department heads on those that haven't signed.
I would give them all to the department heads and have them hand them out. I mean,
Okay, well, who handles this? Is that something, it's not the treasurer, is it? Or would that be something Alicia would handle?
Alicia,
Alicia.
Okay, well, let her know what she's handling.
The Code of Ethics, we're going to keep it the same. We were just wondering if pass it out to all department heads and have them sign. I think we did that last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, good. Up. What exactly?
Yeah, there should be a signed copy received from each employee in their file.
What are you gonna do if they don't sign? This year you had 50% of the people never signed.
We're going to have to get back to the department head to put a little pressure.
I'll drive around.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, we could, I mean, our only choice is with the actual employees. I mean, we could put it in the personnel policy that you must sign. I mean, I mean, it's, the only way you can do it is you put in that all employees must sign it, or they could be terminated. I mean, I don't know what else.
Like a more, like, email format. I mean, I've probably been a little more lenient in my email and I sent it out, like, the importance of it. Like, put on department heads that,
Whole paychecks. Oh.
We don't have to mention that at this point.
It was a joke. I wasn't actually serious. Just to put that on record.
Personnel policy that at least.
Okay, well, moving on then. We've got review of the new...
Do we we at least wanna vote to give it to send it to everybody? I mean, just because we don't have a penalty issue, that doesn't mean we throw it out, so
And here, okay, all in favor?
let's get a motion. I'm, what are we moving, December to the,
Code of ethics policy to the department heads and make the department heads responsible for having all their employees sign it and return it in a timely fashion.
Okay, all in favor?
May I add, like, even on-call members?
Employees.
Yeah,
if they get a check,
yes.
Okay. Nope, I just wanted to.
everybody.
Well, next item is to review the consideration of the new lawyer firm. Did we receive any, did we follow up with them? Do you have any other, firms that handle municipal accounts? I guess that would be important.
There is one that we chatted about before,
Petri Flaherty,
yep, and
Whitty,
there's definitely a couple others.
No, I think it makes sense. Especially where we haven't heard anything back. Okay. Didn't have to do one or two more.
I guess I would ask the rest of the board instead of, does anybody else feel that we're not getting good service or we're not getting what we're looking for or something from current law firms?
Other than the situation that was resolved that they're not recommending, some issues that we wanted to have go forward with, and I believe sounds like they've fixed that, or at
Yeah,
least come around to our,
One issue was they were very hesitant to sell tax-acquired property,
right.
but they've certainly turned 180 degrees on that and have assisted us. So, is there a reason we're looking to interview other law firms from the board perspective? I know a couple of our employees requested it, and so they weren't that excited, but, anyone gonna be better than the other?
Where we sent this email to the, this lady that came in and presented to us, so why don't we wait and see, that was just sent this morning, so let's give it a few days to see if she gets a response.
The only other thing I was gonna say is, I'm happy to reach out to these other two, maybe we don't need them to come to a meeting, maybe they can just do us a scope of work or something that they could send that would give us an idea on the monthly charge, what the, like a perspective or a view of kind of what she's doing. But maybe we don't need to ask them to come and say it right here in person. Like I could ask for that too.
If we're gonna do that, should we put together an RFP and go out and give it a chance to everybody to look at, or, I don't know if we, I appreciate the woman coming in the other night, and she did a nice job, and, let's do that, I think, the question is, why are we looking at this?
Oh, Steve. Gotta raise your hand higher.
Anyway, Steve McLean. The question is, John said why we look, and that's the underlying question, but at this point in time, in another 2 months, we have a new board, so maybe we want to put this out to the new board, we will be doing it.
bill from whatever firm we got. Like I said last week, we're gonna pay $75 more an hour.
Any other discussion? Was there a motion made on this? Okay, so we're just talking about it is all.
I'd recommend remove it from old business, and in a few months, if the new board wants to consider a change, then that might be the time to do it.
Yeah, we'll put it back on the agenda then. Okay, well, actually, that's all of the old business. The only item under new business is the discussion of Bricktown Hall accessibility policy. Gail, was that something you were going to address?
Yeah, before you do that, I don't know if you're getting messages, but it's like,
Scratchy, the sound.
yeah, people can't even hear it.
Super static.
It's
I'm
like,
told that it's a cable somewhere by Mr. Blaze.
wait a what?
I'm told it's a cable somewhere by Mr. Blaze, but everything was off before the meeting, and the static was there then. And I've been turning people off and listening,
We voted to have somebody from there come tonight and next week. He said they couldn't make it tonight, but they will be here next week.
Looks like to comply with that, we just have to remove that first sentence on the second floor.
I want to reach out to, Casey, woman from the DOJ, Casey, whatever. I guess I'd like to get something in writing from her that they are set with everything we've done. I don't know that we actually have that yet. It might be in an email, but I think a letter from her stating that their interest in that building is over. Caitlin. Sainer?
Let's get that information and then come back to this at another time. Why don't we just take it off the agenda and put it back on when we get that information? Okay, and with that, does anyone on the board have anything else?
Back to, if you guys don't mind for a moment, why we are looking for a new firm or considering a new firm. Back in December, Stan came up and did a report, and he said he would highly recommend changing law firms. This is the meeting minutes. From Jensen Baird to Bernstein and Schur, he said the town was charged a few charges from the Limington legal issues by mistake. He's asked them to fix these. He's let Julie know to watch for credits, but then it goes on to say that there were some more issues. He doesn't feel we've been represented effectively, and that's why I think he works to get Bernstein Schur out here. And then we also had one of our citizens highly recommend looking into another firm. And so, of course, that's why we started following up on it. And I think when you consider filling mistakes happen, but also I might be getting off of the board in March, new election, new select people, but I don't care less about this town now than I did the first 2.5 years that I was on the board. And I wouldn't try to look into something or encourage continuing to look into something I didn't think was in the best interest, even if I was getting off of the board in a few months. Just because there are new select people doesn't mean it's the wrong time. And I'll also say that while there is not a lot going on, it might be the perfect time to change. So if we're considering other firms, I don't think it's wrong to continue here and get as much information as we can. And if it is in the best interest, it doesn't hurt to look into it. It doesn't mean it will be right or wrong, but
Thank you. Anything else?
So, I think we should, mention the treasurer situation. Unfortunately, our treasurer, suffered a little bit of an accident and will be out, I would say, at this point, maybe indefinitely, I won't say indefinitely, but,
long term.
it's gonna be a while. We found out over the weekend that happened. We planned for Alicia to come in early this morning, which she did, above and beyond, to make sure that payroll got done. Good news is, we have a payroll company now, so that certainly helped that process. I don't know what we would have done if we didn't, because there is nobody else that can run payroll. There is nobody else that can pay a bill. Judy is the deputy. She was very clear that, although she is the deputy, she's not adept at doing the treasurer's job and doesn't feel like she's able to do it. So we got a savior. We reached out to Laura May, and she has very generously and gracefully agreed to come back and help us out in the interim. I don't know if she made it up today or not, but I think she's gonna be here either tomorrow or Thursday. But she's gonna come up. Julie agreed to have Laura sworn in as her second deputy. So we are very lucky to have her, very lucky that she's come back, and we owe her a big thank you. And she will come back in and keep us rolling as best we can, and Julie, at some point, maybe after today, will be able to be in some contact by phone and things like that to help out, but luckily we were able to keep rolling. I think when people think about our officials being elected versus hired, think about a day like today. If Laura May didn't step up, I don't know, I have no idea what we would have done. I don't know where we find somebody to do what needs to be done.
I think we were talking a couple weeks ago that if or when Julie's done, Judy's done, because she's her deputy, correct?
Yeah,
Like if Julie
yeah.
wasn't in the position anymore.
Yeah, Julie
It's
is, yeah.
Like something like this, we
Yeah, I
wouldn't
mean, like-
expect this.
Somebody said, never mind, what if somebody gets run over by a bus?
Yeah.
Right, then she would be done,
Yeah.
then we would be in a
I'm not
bigger,
saying she's done now, I'm
a
just
bigger
saying
world of
it's
hurt than we are now, so. We need to, these are times that we need to think about getting into it's 2025. Operating the way we've done for the past 20 years doesn't necessarily work, so.
Okay, well,
Everybody that wants those positions elected may want to think twice.
we'll thank Laura May for, stepping up and wish Julie a speedy recovery.
So when we talked about last week about the doors unlocking, like I had a citizen request for that. So I asked everybody in the building their opinion. Majority, 90% or 95% of people would like to see it as it is kept. It's been over a year. If you haven't been in the municipal building within a year, then you come, I guess you find out that there's one entrance, one exit, or you can go out the other doors. But we felt like if there became another threat, like in a month or two, do you go back to locking the doors again and putting up signs and just changing it again? So,
I think
it's not super convenient, but the other couple towns who you call around, they do have one entrance, one exit, or other multiple doors you can go out, but they're not unlocked to come in, so.
If the majority of the building wants to keep it the way it is, then, well, I recommend keeping it, so.
Okay, well, then moving on is, we'll go to the hearing of citizens.
Yeah, we can't hear anyway with the microphone, so.
The sound is working right now, so.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Sounds work. 1, 2, 3. There's a couple of things. Quick. Joan, did you find anything out about the camera?
We're meeting the other week. They're gonna come out either Thursday or Friday.
Maybe you could live stream that, something here. That was suggested tonight.
Live stream what?
Or somebody said, would you live stream the camera from up there? Down here?
I think that was talked about when I
We
first
talked about doing
joined,
that
but
once.
no,
We talked
there's no
about
need.
keeping it live on the, you know, once it gets going. Yeah, we talked about putting it on the website, and we talked about doing the perimeter cameras here, and people were dead set against it.
Okay, no, I'm just.
I'm not saying, I think it's a great idea,
Yeah.
Well,
but,
we just,
yeah,
gotta make progress, fix that. The other thing is, why did we have a past due bill? You mentioned that it was.
Just notice on the bill, it mentioned that it may have just been crossed in the mail, or I'm sure we're not,
I was gonna say, here
we're
we are.
not having a problem paying bills, so it probably just crossed in the mail.
My point is, here we are, we're gonna interview a few other firms and stuff, and we're saying now, geez, we got some past due legal bills. It just, kind of doesn't make sense at that point.
somewhere there is a small disconnect, because there are other bills that have not been paid. Some going far back as July. So, there are some lingering bills.
So
that-
here we are, we're interviewing different firms and saying, all right, this is what we wanna do, but yet tonight it comes out in public that, geez, we've missed a couple here and there, so this doesn't bode well if you're gonna go look for another firm, so.
Not listing us on Dun and Bradstreet to let us know we're not paying our
Our
lawyer bill, yeah. Okay, anyone else?
So can we get, I know the tech was here from SRC TV last week, Wednesday of last week, and everything was fine. And here we sit tonight, and it's broken again. So, I know he's coming on Monday, but I make a motion, we ask him to come back out before Monday and figure out what's going on tonight with, if they can't, either they can't see it, they can't hear it, they can hear it, they can't see it. It's on one channel, it's not on another, it's online, it's not online. I mean, I don't know how much longer, we gotta keep this. I don't understand, so let's ask them to come, I make a motion, we have them come out again this week, figure out what the problem is with the sound, and be prepared for Monday night to have them here again, so that we're putting out something that's visible, you can see it and hear it. Are they gonna run the equipment? That's what they did when they came out on Wednesday. They ran all kinds of test stuff. And it went out fine, and then all of a sudden, tonight, people are turning, saying it's like, oh, maybe it was the earthquake today messed something up, who
I'll
knows?
second that motion.
But let's get them here again, and
I didn't feel.
maybe it only works on Wednesday nights, I don't know. Well, get them here again this week, and have them again on Monday night, so that we can figure this out.
Extracted motion, but,
I seconded it.
and there was a second, so. So, all in favor? So, yeah, let's get them out here, get this fixed.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, all in favor? And thank you, everyone.